All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. Today, we're going to be going over secrets to generating seller leads with one of our PDF guides. So get yourself over to Listings to Leads if you can and actually do it with me. So we're not just going to watch it. Hopefully, we can actually do this together, get a lot of it done, answer any questions that you may have. So go ahead and Anna, will I receive an email link? An email link for what, Anna? What was that exactly? I'm not sure which email you're referring to, but I will help you out with that, of course. If you are not a client, go ahead and sign up for a free trial. You can actually do everything we're going to do here in a free trial, of course. And if you are a client, like I said, go ahead and log into your account. I'd love to have you do this with me. And that way we can actually get it done, answer some questions that you have. The PDF guides that we've got are absolutely phenomenal. We get so much great feedback from people. And we're going to walk through how I would use these, but I'll also show you some other ways that you can use them as well. So with that, let me know where you're coming in from. So go ahead and type into the chat. Go ahead and make a comment. Let me know where you're at, what broker you're with, and any feedback on the guides that you may have had, any success stories, any issues that you may have had that where I can help you out with that. And so again, I'm at listingstoleads.com. Go ahead and log in, sign up for a free trial. The Keys Company, that's awesome. Very nice, very nice. Carmen, welcome. So I log into my Listings to Leads account. You're going to land on the dashboard. And I'm going to go click on the marketing calendar. So we're dealing with a PDF guide today. So I could just go ahead and click on the PDF guides, but I do like the marketing calendar because it shows me how every day of the month, Monday through Friday, we got something going on. Hopefully in the weekends, you're doing an open house. I'm telling you, if you're not doing open houses with our open house marketing checklist and our open house mastery, one client that I work with, he has generated buyers, listings, multiple per open house for the last couple of weeks. Absolutely phenomenal. So, when you're trying to grow your business and you want to get sellers and you want to get buyers, marketing an open house can be one of the best ways to do it. So with the tools and Listings to Leads, when you are marketing an open house, a lot of the buyer leads coming in own a home. And in fact, that's happened a couple of times where this client has generated a buyer lead from the Facebook ad. And it could be an active, it could be an open house, but half of the buyer leads coming in own a home. And he's finding that he's able to convert buyer leads into listings, which is absolutely phenomenal. And that's one of the best ways to generate seller leads. But this PDF guide right here, so it's May 21st. And you can see here, PDF guide seller. So that's a seller guide. Secrets to selling your home fast. And when I click on it, you're going to see we got a checklist. We've got a step-by-step walkthrough, and then we can go right to the marketing tools. So you can take a look at the checklist a little bit later. Take a look at the guide. Excuse me. But I'm actually going to walk through everything right here. So I'm going to click Market. And right here, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast. Now, before we go do that, let's click Download. And you can see we got Download English, Spanish. So we got both versions. We have text only as well, for whatever reason you want that. But I will click Download English Version. And it's going to download. And you can see here a great guide that walks through this topic, branded to you on every page. All right. Again, we have so much great feedback on this. These are great touch points because when somebody downloads the guide, either from an ad, an email, a post, from your follow-up, and I'm going to talk about how these are all integrated into your Listings to Leads follow-ups, it just creates some great conversations. So the idea is, how can I put this in front of as many people as possible in my area so that they engage with it, so that when I follow up with them, I got the great follow-up because I know what it is that they downloaded. And so I can speak to that in my follow-up. All right. Buffalo, New York. Oh, wow. Hope it's not too cold up there. Absolutely awesome. Washington State, EXP. All right. Awesome. Good stuff there. Love it. So you're going to see here in the marketing tools, we have Facebook and Instagram ads. These will default to lead ads, as you can see right there. We've got Google ads. We've got a social media post. We've got short form video scripts. And this is something I'm just telling you. If you're doing video, good for you. Take our script. You'll be able to use it, run with it. I think you'll do absolutely fabulous. If you're not doing video yet, I highly recommend at least start recording these, or at least start recording them, even if you're not going to publish them. Record them and get comfortable, get used to what you're doing with it. And then you can start putting them out on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, if you use TikTok. But you've got to start getting into the video. And our video scripts, we almost got like a different video script every day of the week. Sometimes there's multiple video scripts. And I'm just walking you through real quickly, and then we're going to go back to all of these and we're going to get into it in detail. But I just want to give you a quick overview. The eFlyer for your database. This is one of my favorite tools. Using these guides in my database and we had a client a while ago, he sent one of these to his database and got a 10% response rate right out of his database. So he sent it to his coldest leads, seller leads, and again, got 10% response rate. Got some listing appointments scheduled, got some consultations scheduled, got engagement going with people that he had not talked to in the past. So these are something that I really want you to be using about once a week to send. We got between the 40 buyer guides and the 40 seller guides. On the calendar, you're going to see we just do one a week. I would do 2 a week. So again, the one seller guide, and I would pick a buyer guide to do. So I'll get back to that. A database call script. So not only are we going to email this to our database, but we are going to call some of the leads in our database. We all know you can go online, you can do some research, and you'll find out that your database is one of the best assets that you've got as a real estate agent. If you don't have a big database, that's fine, right? You're going to build that database up with listings to leads. So as you're generating leads, as you've got leads in your database, they might be 10 years old. They might be 5. They might be 1 year old. They might be only a month old in your database. But the ability to use the database call script and call through, have a nice touch point where you're adding value, because that's what this is. This is adding value, because at some point, one of the guides, we don't know which one, but one of these guides will get somebody's interest going, and they're going to go, oh, that's a topic that I'm interested in. They're going to click it. You're going to get notified, and then you're going to be able to follow up and have a great conversation. So again, I'm going to go through all of this in a few minutes. But again, I just want to do a quick walkthrough so that when I get into the details, you'll have a sense of all the different things going on. We got print flyers. And let me show you. This is not the same one, but this is an example of a print flyer. And I always talk about print some of these up. You can see that right there where it's got a QR code. So the print flyers are phenomenal for an open house. So again, I referenced the fact that, doing open houses is one of the best ways to both generate buyer and seller leads when you use listings to leads. Using the print flyers like this, and you put them at the open house in one of the acrylic flyer holders or flyer stands, it's a great way that people can scan that QR code off the print flyer right at the open house. So again, we'll be talking about that more. We've got postcards and door hangers. So these are awesome as well. So if you're looking for a reason to door knock, maybe you did an open house and you use the nearby homeowner letter. Well, you may not want to let it go after that. You may want to have another follow-up, or maybe you did a just sold postcard to your farm, but now you want something else to add to it. One of the things I love doing, and we've done this before, is we will take these postcards. In fact, let me get another one. Let me get the jumbo. I think that's easier to see. And you can upload this into a program like Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, other programs, and do a couple of really cool things with it. So in Mailbox Power, I know what I recommend doing is you can actually swap this image out and put the image of the person's home and use a dynamic QR code. So I think with Thanks.io, you can do that as well. And there's probably other postcard programs that allow that kind of functionality, so that when this postcard is received by the homeowners, all right, they can scan the QR code. And again, with Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, they've got dynamic QR codes that you can add onto this, so that when the homeowner scans that QR code, you will know exactly who it was. You'll have their information. You can call them up right away after scanning the QR code. And they're going to be looking at their home right on the postcard. So Mailbox Power is really great for that. There's, again, Thanks.io as well. And I'll be coming back to that again. And then, of course, we got the farm and circle prospecting scripts also, so that if you are going to do a mailing with these and you got the phone number, so maybe you get a list from RedX, My Plus Leads, Active Prospect. I think there's others as well, where I can pull a list, I can skip trace it, or you can pull a list out of your database. So you may want to just pull 200 homeowners out of your database, send the postcard to them from Mailbox Power or Thanks.io, and then you've got the image of their home right on the postcard. You got the QR code, but now you can call through, right, with a great "did you get" phone call, where you're just trying to add value to these people, because the people that have an interest that might be thinking about selling at some point are going to engage with this kind of stuff at a higher level than your standard postcards that you might be sending out. All right. The just sold postcards with listings to leads, or the nearby homeowner letter for just solds, are absolutely awesome. And you can send a "what is your home worth" postcard, but you can't send the same postcard every single month. And that's where the postcards here come into play, because again, offering education, offering something of value related to the home selling process is a great way to engage people, whether it's social media, your database, or your farm. So with that, let me see, any questions here? Are you saying, yeah, exactly, Mailbox Power and Thanks.io. So I believe it's is it Thanks.io? I believe it is, yeah. Anybody want to correct me on that? I could be wrong. No, it's Thanks.io. Yeah. And in fact, you know what? We'll probably have time, and I will actually go into Mailbox Power and I'll show you how that works. All right, so let's look at Facebook and Instagram ads. So there's a couple of things that you can do here. One is you can run the ad to the general audience, but you can also retarget if you have a custom audience. These leads are typically going to come in between $10 to $15 to $20 each for a seller lead. So again, I like to spend the money on marketing a listing every single week. That, I'm always harping. I hope I don't get too annoying, but if you don't have a new listing to market this week, go find a listing that you can market. Talk to your broker if you're not familiar with how to borrow a listing, but borrowing a listing to market that is in the meat of your market, that it meets your buyer seller avatar, is one of the best ways to get a lot of leads in your database to follow up with. You'll get buyer leads from it. But again, you're going to find out that half of these people coming in as a lead off of your deal of the week, your listing of the week, maybe a new construction that you're marketing for the week, but every week, that is the inventory of a real estate agent, right? If you are a cafe, your inventory is coffee and bagels. If you are, whatever your business is, you have an inventory, whether it's an inventory of services or an inventory of products. And so you've got the service as an agent helping people buy or sell, but your physical inventory are properties. And you can actually have inventory that is not even yours. So unlike a cafe owner, or unlike a normal business owner, a real estate agent can borrow inventory to capture more leads. And in fact, one of our clients, Craig Johnson, in 2.5 months, 2 deals closed, 2 deals in contract, 4 deals, 4 people out pre-approved looking at properties, and 70% of the listings he's marketing, and it's all from just listed open house, 70% of the listings that they're marketing over the last 2.5 months are not even their listings, they're borrowed listings from other agents. So, it's almost ridiculously easy that I think a lot of people want to overcomplicate that. So that is where I would start with my Facebook and Instagram ads. But you may have that running and you may want to overlay and actually get more going, which is absolutely fine. So we got a Facebook and Instagram ad here. It's going to default to a lead ad. Now, again, I mentioned there's two things that you can do. I can run it to the location. So just everybody in Folsom. All right. And it's going to be a radius of 15 miles, a lifetime budget. Again, I mentioned that the average lead is going to cost between 10 to 20 bucks. So you're really going to want to pump that up to about 100. So $100. It'll default for 1 week. That is totally fine. I can change the image and even add a video. So you'll see here a lot of different options. Video. You could even use the short form video script, upload your own video, which I like because the more that people see you, the more they hear your voice, the more they see your energy, the more they get comfortable with you, the more likely they're going to engage with you in the future. That's why I always talk about the best lead follow-up is a video text message back to the lead. All right. You got the email follow-ups, you got text follow-up, you may have other kind of follow-up, but just sending a quick video message to a lead, all right, responding back to what they came in on, is one of the best ways to follow up with people. All right. You don't need to be Brad Pitt, George Clooney, or whoever. You're you. You're perfect the way you are. And it is a service and it is a value that you're offering that is going to get people to engage with you. And the quicker they get comfortable with you, the quicker they're going to engage with you. So regardless, I can select a different image. As you can see here, a lot of different images. And I can even use Canva. So if you want to go to Canva, create a beautiful image and upload it right here, you can totally do that as well. Now, I mentioned you can target location, but you can also target a custom audience. So I can say, I want to use my video audience and I want to use my website audience. And maybe I've got an audience from My Plus Leads. All right, or RedX. So I got, or my database audience. So I can target audiences as well. Now, if you're going to use a custom audience, then I would not use location. So only use one or the other. So either use location or a custom audience. So I'm going to take those. If you don't have a custom audience, that's fine. Then you can see here, I got the autoresponder. So this would be the autoresponder that they get. Now, when they click through the ad, it's a Facebook lead ad. They're going to click the ad. The Facebook lead form is going to come up. It'll say, the first question is, what is your selling time frame? Then it's going to say name, email, phone number, all autofill. They will be taken to a page right there where they can download the guide. They will also receive an email if you leave that on. And in the email, they can download the guide there also. And then just hit create ad. Now, I'm also going to show you, I'm going to do this one more time where I'm going to use a custom audience next. So hold tight. We're going to let that cycle through. That'll cycle through. It'll drop us right back onto the ads page right here. So that's sending it to Meta. One of the great things I've talked to our clients, they absolutely love that they never get rejected. All right. A lot of times you go into the Facebook Ads Manager and you can do this there. And you do one little thing wrong, and the next thing you know, your ad is being rejected. Now, we are doing, because we've had a lot of great feedback on this, and a lot of people are excited to get back into the AI text follow-up. So if you want to, you can subscribe, and it's half off through June 30th. So if you want to take advantage of that, what will happen here, and here's how I like to use this. If you got the AI text follow-up activated, as soon as that lead comes in, if it is a good phone number, it will initiate a conversation. If it is not a good phone number, it will not, and it doesn't count against the monthly subscription. But here's the thing. When you get notified of a lead, I would still, don't rely on the AI text follow-up. It's great. It'll work. It's got about a 10% conversion rate, or qualification rate's the way to phrase that. So about 10% of the leads will qualify through AI text. The rest won't. Some will say remove, some will just not respond at all. But for 100% of the leads coming in, you still want to do the video text follow-up. All right. And what you can do is after you do that, you can go in and turn off the AI text. So I like to use the AI text follow-up as my backstop in case I don't have a chance to get to the lead, right? We get busy, we're in showings, we're at a kid's soccer game, we're in a listing presentation, we're sleeping, right? We're doing a million different things. So we're not always capable of sitting there responding to leads, as they're coming in. So that's where the AI text follow-up here can be a really great lifesaver for you. But when I've got a chance, I'm back in the office, I'm in the car, right? I'm taking a walk and I've got some time where I can respond back to these leads, right? I got the lead notifications right on my phone and I can see the name, I can see the phone number right on my phone, and I can just click, send a text, and then in listings to leads, I can turn off the AI text because I have now taken that over. All right. Yes, it will. So when the AI text qualifies, it will let you know that the lead said something. For example, let's just say the AI text is going to, for the guide, it may say, do you have any more questions about this? Are you, what is your time frame? What are you looking to sell? And and it's really cool. All right. The conversations can go a number of different ways. So I can't just tell you exactly how it works, because depending on how the lead responds, the AI text will do things a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, what the AI text is trying to do is find out from the lead when is a good time for you to call them. And so the leads will say, today after 5, tomorrow after 3, sometime next week, right? Something like that. And then that'll count as a qualification. And then it will let you know, right? It'll give you the entire conversation. And so you can follow up appropriately. All right. Does that make sense, Cindy? The lead is from Facebook ads. Yes. In this case, the lead will come in from a Facebook ad, but any time the lead has a phone number coming in, the AI text will follow up with them. All right. Let's do one more ad with a custom audience. Because a lot of you have, you get your database audience, you got your website audience, you've got, a list that you buy from Redx or My Plus Leads. And so again, lead ads. Now you do have traffic. I like lead ads better, but you do have traffic. You do have video views. So you could do video views. In fact, this might be a good one. So video views. And I'm going to come down here to retarget. And I'm going to hit my database. So again, it could be Redx. It could be, it could be Redx for Folsom, all the homeowners from Folsom out of Redx, and my database and my website. So any list of homeowners that you've got for your area, you can create a custom audience. I'll show you where you can do that in listings to leads a little bit later here. So just keep that in mind. But imagine now, so I got a custom audience of all the homeowners in my database. And I record a video where it's me in this video. See where it says change video? I can click that. And I can click upload. And I can record. You could just be at your desk and record a video related to that PDF guide. And I would recommend take a look at our short form video script that is on that list right there. And then instead of a lifetime budget of $100 or whatever it's going to be, I could do a daily budget of like $4. And that way, my database, my website, the homeowners in Folsom are going to see me. And instead of having just this video, I've got a video of me. And I remember I said earlier, the faster people get to quote unquote know you, the faster you're going to get engagement from those leads. So if you don't have a video of yourself, I would do it the way I mentioned earlier, where I just use the location, do 50 or $100, let the ad run, or you can do a custom audience for $4 to $5 a day. And even better would be using a video with a custom audience right? So, and you can combine and change up all these things and find out what you want to do, what works best for you. If you reach out to them, yes, Neil. Yeah, so we are TCPA compliant already, even though that it is not legal or it's not required. So yeah, in the ads, you are able to call up any lead, even if they're not on the DNC. You can still call them because the phone number, they essentially gave you their phone number, and the language is in there that you've got the right to call and follow up and everything. So yeah, definitely. Yep, perfect. Yeah, Martin, the only thing about the video, and I'll just show one more time, and you can do this with the lead ad. So any ad that you do, it could be a PDF guide, a listing, a landing page. So any kind of content like that. And then any objective. So lead ad, traffic, or video views. And when I scroll down here, you see that blue button? I can always change the image or add a video. Are we good there? Everybody? All right. So again, these are going to be, anywhere from $10 to $15. I've seen as low as $5, as high as $20, $25. All right. For, seller leads are more expensive than buyer leads. So, just keep that in mind. Next up is Google. So this gets even more expensive. But, I just talked to a VA. She works with a lot of Coldwell Banker clients out of Florida and Michigan, and she absolutely loves our Google ads. She said, one of my favorite things about using listings to leads for my clients is your Google ads are super easy and they're really good. But again, they're expensive. So they're going to come in at 20 to 30 bucks a piece. So I don't want you to go broke, all right, doing Google ads. So just keep that in mind. But if you are into doing Google, I think you'll really like what we've got here. I know Dustin Fox, one of the things that he said he loves about our program is how easy it is to do both those Facebook and Google ads. He calls it the easy button for Google ads and the easy button for Facebook ads. So for Google, again, location. Everything is set up here. This is all customizable, but we got to set up for you. We got the landing page. Now look at that, daily budget. So with Facebook, it defaults to a budget of 50 bucks a week. I'm going to recommend that you go to 100. But for Google, you're coming in at a daily of 50. Now, the Google ads are typically, or the Google leads are typically better leads because they went in and they typed something to have your ad display based on the relevancy of what they searched. So these are leads that are more or less coming to you versus Facebook, where it's just they're scrolling and they happen to see an ad. Now, I really don't like when people say, well, Facebook ads are they're just interrupting people. That's true, but they wouldn't have clicked it. They weren't forced to click your ad. All right. So when somebody says, well, Facebook ads are no good because, they're interrupting people and people don't want to see, then they're not going to click it. So I can tell you, the ads are phenomenal. The biggest problem most people have with ads, you don't spend enough money and you're not consistent enough and you're not following our training on the type of ads to run. So again, I always say start with listings first, and then you can layer on other ads on top of that. So if you're new to Facebook ads, don't start off with an ad like this one. All right, start off with listings first. Get your audiences dialed in a little bit with Facebook. Let the algorithm learn what kind of people to show your ads to. Then I would go to pending and sold. I love pending and sold ads for your listings. And then I would do PDF guides would be the next thing. But if you're new, do not come out of the gate running these ads, because again, they're going to be 10 to 15 to 20 bucks per lead. Yes. So Neil, I thought maybe that just got that question got regenerated. But yes, when the lead gives us your phone number, they are. I don't know the correct way to phrase that perfectly. Whether they give you permission, but legally, yes, that is correct. Yep. Oh, I got logged out. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. All right, so Folsom, 50 bucks. Now I can turn that down to 30, but I wouldn't go much below 30 a day. And it's going to default for 1 week and hit create ad. Now, if you're into doing Google ads and you've got some good experience doing Google, you can go into advanced options. You don't need to. And you can see all of the keywords, audience segments, headlines. All right, there's a lot. So we've got all the stuff dialed in for you so that you don't need to mess with it. But if you got the experience, right? If you got a lot of experience with doing Google, some of the stuff may be something that you want to take a look at because you might want to customize it based on your experience with doing it in your local area. All right. Cindy says, I just connected to Google and it gives me a choice of 4 different ads. When you say 4 different ads, do you mean here in the target? I'm not sure what you mean by 4 different ads. Maybe a little bit later, get with our support team or in the mastermind group, and I can help you out more, Cindy, if needed. Yes, this is being recorded, and the best place to find this later will be our YouTube channel. So go find Listings to Leads on YouTube, click live, and then you'll see all of our lives. All right. Next up, social media post. So this will post to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, and X. Again, I can edit anything in here I want. So here's the post text I can edit. Here is my headline, my description. Again, I can change the media. Now in a post, you cannot do video through the API, but you could do that manually if you wanted to. But the posts are great as well. So I would definitely get that up there. And again, if you've got an image in Canva that you want to use, so you get a beautiful image and you want to change out the one that we've got, just grab your image, upload it right here, and then that will display instead of the image that we've got. All right, awesome. Next up, short form video script. I'm just telling you, please, 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 please start recording these. Worst case, you could even use like Zoom. I mean, imagine if you're not into doing the phone with the teleprompter app, you could use Zoom to record the video. You could use Loom, Dub, right? There's a lot of video products out there that you could use. You could do a little green screen behind you if you wanted to of a property or of an image of the guide itself. But start figuring out, how can I record this video? How can I use this script to record a video, to get it on YouTube, to get it on Facebook, Instagram, right? I want my reels. I want a story. I want a TikTok. I want a YouTube short with this, because those kind of videos get a lot more visibility and a lot more. They get sent out and promoted a lot more than a standard post. All right. The post will go up to your Facebook business page. It can be put in a group, right? Your LinkedIn page. But it's the video that you record with the script that will get a lot more engagement and a lot more views for you. And again, it could be using your phone and go to a listing, right? If you've got a listing, taking the script and going to that property and recording the video would be phenomenal. You could record it at your desk like I am right now, and I could just record the video and then post that up to Instagram, post it up to Facebook. And the script, super easy. So here, let's just walk through it. And so if you have any questions, let me know. All right. So imagine it's the video. Imagine we're on Instagram Reels or TikTok. And it's selling your home can be a stressful process. And when it comes to selling your home, a fast sale at the right price is what dreams are made of. I can help you achieve a smooth process. Just DM or comment below to get my free guide, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast, and discover the strategies top realtors employ to achieve quick sales without compromising on price. And then just end it up right there. Absolutely perfect, easy, simple, quick, right? We're not doing a 2-minute video. We're talking 30 to 40 seconds, right? It's beautiful because as people are scrolling through, they don't want to watch, sometimes they see a video and then they go, well, how long is this video? And they see that it's a 3-minute long or 2-minute long video. They're not going to want to sit there and necessarily watch it the entire time. And so that's why these short little video scripts for you are so compelling. And then you've got the PDF guide. So you got the guide right in Listings to Leads. So if they DM you or they comment for the guide, or they like your post, you can follow up with them and get that guide over. All right. Next up, the e-flyer for your database. This is one of my favorites. So this right here, you can either send it through Listings to Leads. In fact, I'm going to show you an edit I made. So these are completely editable. So I just edited the email a little bit, and I'm actually going to be trying this out with a couple of clients where we're going to actually start including the Calendly link and offering a free strategy session, essentially, based on the guide. So the guides are great. When people click to download the guide, it's going to download the guide right from the email. So it will not take them to a landing page, because when you send the email and somebody downloads the guide, you're going to get notified of who that person was, so you can follow up with them again, right? Again, it's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. But instead of just offering the guide, I came in here and I changed this up a little bit, essentially adding this right here. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to copy that from an earlier email. And so here's the e-flyer for database. I'm going to click edit email. And so I can edit in here anything I want. And I'm going to delete these 2 lines. I'm going to paste in what I just copied. I'm going to make sure that that's bold, underlined, and blue. So, I want to make sure my links are all good. And I'll just make sure that we got that bold, underlined, in the same shade. Perfect. And so now I've got an email, right, that instead of just sending the guide, which is awesome, you don't need to edit anything here. But I think it's a little bit more compelling if you want to. If you've got Calendly or you got a similar type of program where people can set up meetings with you, I think it'd be really, really powerful, right? Why not kind of add two stones with 2 birds, 1 stone, however you say that, right? And you know what? If somebody is really thinking about selling and they go, this topic, right? Secrets to selling your home fast. And every week you can send out a different email to your seller leads. So every week will be a different guide, a different message. And so I don't want to if you send it out and they download it, it's beautiful, because now again, I'll know who clicked to download it. I can follow up, or I can say, for example, hey, Neil, I see that you downloaded my guide. I just wanted to follow up, see if you have any questions. Again, I might do that in a video text, right? If I call them, if I leave a voicemail, or if I call and I don't get a message, maybe I follow up and just send a text instead and just say, hey, hey, Neil, Scott here. I saw that you downloaded my guide, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast. It's a great guide. It's going to help you get some, just a couple of key points, but there's a lot more to making sure that your home gets sold fast. So if you'd like to book a strategy call with me, absolutely free. I got a few spots left this week. I'm going to go ahead and send you my Calendly link. It was also in the email that you got. So you can click either in the email or in the next link that I will send you, and we can set that up and answer any question that you have about your specific situation and your specific home, right? Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's home is different. So, no 2 sellers are the same, no 2 homes are the same. And so we want to really stress that and offer a strategy session to walk through how they are going to get their home sold fast as possible. All right. It's not about just selling homes fast as possible. It's about selling their specific home based on what they have got going on in their life, right? What is it that they're trying to accomplish? And based on how their home has been kept up, how where their home is located, all of that good stuff. So I previously already connected that to my Calendly. And now when I send it out, I can send it to everybody in listings to leads, or I can just send it to all of my seller leads. Click send, right? Get that out. In listings to leads, I will be able to see the opens, the clicks, and the downloads. So when I go back to the statistics right here, so when I click on the stats right here, I will be able to see again everyone that received it, opened it, clicked it, and downloaded it. And I would even maybe follow up with some of the people that, even if they opened it, that might be some of the people I follow up with a little bit later. Now, alternatively, I can take this and just copy it, go to my email program, right? KV Core, Follow Up Boss, whatever email I use, navigate to wherever it is that you're going to send an email, paste that in there, make sure everything looks good. If I needed to, you saw there, that was kind of up like that. So I just put my cursor and just boom, good to go. Right? Make sure your tags are appropriate for your CRM. So you might be using Constant Contact. You might be using Lofty. We have a lot of Lofty clients. We have a lot of clients with Follow Up Boss. Right? And there we go. Click here to book your free strategy call now. They click this, they're going to be able to download. So it's just clicking the image. They're going to download the guide. And again, I get notified. It's got my listings to lead signature at the bottom. If you haven't seen, we had a couple of clients post in the mastermind group. One of them put it in Gmail, looks phenomenal. And I think the other person put it in their other CRM. I can't remember what CRM it was. But so this signature is really, really cool. All right. Preview email. All right. Looks phenomenal. If I want to change the font or font size, I can. All right. Looks, and again, I could have changed the image before I did this. I could use my Canva image or whatever image I want. But the cool thing is we got everything set up. So you don't need to hyperlink this. You don't need to hyperlink the image. All of that is done for you automatically. Do you send video text to your cell phone? Cindy, yeah. I mean, you can send it through whatever you want, but your phone is one of the best follow-up tools that you've got. All right. Because when it's either a new lead or if a lead downloads the guide, you're going to have the phone number. If there's a phone number with the lead, which, if it's a lead ad, you will. So I would definitely just use my phone. Now, if you want to use a program like, Loom or Dub or some of these other programs where you're on the laptop and you're recording it, and there's some other things that you can do with it, that's great as well. I mean, you could even create like a generic video that you just send to everybody. But I like to try to be, I'm not generating 100 leads a day, right? The goal is I'm generating and having engagement with hopefully, 5 to 10 to 15 people a day, right? That's kind of where you want to get to. And so that's, I think, doable, because I'm not talking about a 5-minute video. And I'm not talking about you stressing out and overthinking this for a half hour before you hit record and send it. I'm literally talking about, you get the lead. You see the lead was for a PDF guide called Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast. The lead might have been off a open house ad, whatever it is. And you're just going to be chill. You're just going to record. You're going to, hey, Cindy, this is Scott with L2L Realty, and I see that you responded to my ad on Secrets of Selling Your Home Fast. And that's a great guide to just touch on a couple of the key points on that topic. But there's a lot more to it. And I'm sure that your situation is going to be very unique, as is your home. So, I'd love to book a strategy call with you to make sure that we can talk you through how to make sure, based on what's going on in your life and based on your specific home, that when you are ready to sell, right now, I might even phrase it like that, like when you are ready to sell, not, if you're going to sell tomorrow or right now, because they still may be thinking about selling at some point in the future, and they don't want to feel rushed. They don't want to feel like, oh my God, she's going to come over here, and beat me up with the listing agreement that I've got to sign today. No, I just want to help prepare you so that when you are ready, and again, that's where these guides are so powerful and they're so good at engaging. And for those of you that were kind of wondering, in listings to leads, let me show you. So that was Follow Up Boss. But to add a link, and I had Calendly up. Hold on a second. Let me bring up Calendly again. And let me grab my link. I'm going to bring it over here and we can just kind of look at this together. So if you've got something like Calendly, or you may have another program, all I did was I highlight the link. All right, so I copy it and I come back into here. And let's say that wasn't there, right? So, so there's no link to Calendly or my calendar app. Click here to book your free All right, so you see the text I wrote, and then what you do is you just highlight, and I might click here to book. One word can get kind of lost, but if I do, multiple, and this is a little bit different than what I just did a minute ago, but same idea. And then up in here, and you'll have this in your CRM as well. So you can do it in listings to leads, copy it over like I did, or you can just drop it into your CRM and do this there, either way. But you see here, it says insert link. And then this box will come up. I'll do it one more time so you can see it. Again, I highlight what I want it to be linked. So in fact, I'll do all of that. And then I come up here and again, I click right there, insert link. And I just paste in the link. Make sure open a new tab is checked, insert. And now what I want to do is I just want to make sure it's bold. So up in here again, there's bold and underlined. And then if you need, I can go to the colors and just make sure it's the right kind of blue. And there we go. Awesome. So get that to your database. All right, get that to your database, whether it's through listings to leads or your CRM. And then I might give it like a half hour, maybe an hour. And then I'm going to start looking at, so let me see if I can show you here. If I go to, let me see. Actually it might be in follow-ups. So we'll look at that a little bit later. But I would look at who opened. Now, if somebody clicks and downloads the guide, of course, I'm going to call them up right away. I'm going to call them up, after give them a couple of minutes to read the guide. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to do the video text message. Maybe, if I've talked to them before, maybe I call them up. Maybe I do a combination. Maybe I do a phone call. And then a couple of hours later, I do a video text message to them offering to answer any specific questions. I want to communicate and recognize the fact that they are unique, that their home is unique, and that a plan will need to be unique to get them top dollar and get their home sold fast. Everything is unique. Everything is specific to them. And we want to make sure that they understand that, and that the guide was a nice general introduction to the topic, and that booking a strategy call with me will help us get deeper into the topic or deeper into the content to make sure that, again, their unique situation, their unique home will be addressed and they can accomplish their goals. So again, the database call script. So this is a great did you get phone call. So we're going to say here, hey, Neil, Scott here at Listings to Leads. And, I sent out my guide, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast, via email to all of my VIP clients and homeowners. And I just want to make sure you got that and see if you have any questions. If you can't find it or you didn't get it, feel free to call or text me back and let me know, and I'll make sure to get that to you right away. But the way the market is in transition now, I just want to make sure you got that, because your situation is unique, your home is unique, and I want to make sure that when you are ready to sell, that you are prepared to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. All right. And then, you got that. And now here's a great ending. So for seller leads, script A, script B, and then you can even add. And also, by the way, I'm putting together some home value reports for my clients, and they're going to be more detailed than what you can get on Zillow or Trulia or any of these landing pages or websites that you may see that offer a free home value. These will be a lot more specific and reflective of your actual home value. Would Neil@singerman.com be the best email to send that to, right? Or you can even do the make a mistake and get corrected strategy, where you say, would Neil@singerman.com be the best email to send that to when it's ready? And I've got NIEL@singerman.com. Is that correct? And then Neil is going to go, no, actually, my email is NEIL. And so, play around, right? Again, phone, video, mistake. It's just not, you don't want to just keep calling and calling and calling leads with the same message. It gets boring. They get immune to it. They just start tuning you out. So we want to have a different kind of way of phrasing and engaging people that will work. Script B. All right. So this, version A, version B for the ending. I don't know if you're interested, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. And then they're not looking to sell right now, but I would love to do this report for you so that you can keep tabs on what your home is doing month over month. And it's really good for me because it'll give me the ability to know more about what's happening in the market, and it keeps me better plugged in. So if you're interested, I'll be happy to put it together for you. Would Neil@singerman.com be the best email to send that to? All right. You get that? Makes sense? Neil, sorry to pick on you. So, all right. So we've got social media paid. We got social media free. We got social media short form videos. And you can, when you do the short form video script, typically you can save the video. You'll save it default in vertical, right? So that's the Instagram, that's the TikTok. But typically you can save those videos in a landscape format. So the same video, you don't have to re-record it. So when you record your short form video, save it, upload it, get it up on all the socials, but then also save as. You'll see a save as function typically, and save as either landscape or square. And then that would be great for a Facebook post. All right, that'd be a really, really great version of that same video. And that way I don't have to record the video multiple times. All right, and then if you're using BombBomb, I could drop that video into BombBomb, and now when I email everybody, they're going to have a video email, and they're going to be able to see me in the email. Does that make sense? Anybody here use BombBomb? And yes, Stephanie, we are recording this. It will be available on YouTube. So YouTube, go to Listings to Leads, go to our channel. But does anybody here use BombBomb? So if you do, again, take that script, record the video. All right, print flyers. I love the print flyers. These are so good. Again, open houses, one of the best things to do for generating both buyers and sellers. Can't recommend open houses enough. If you're using our open house marketing or open house mastery, when you go to youtube.com, or I'm sorry, youtube.com, when you go to YouTube and you see our lives, there is a open house video there as well. And so again, printing up a couple of these flyers, there we go, because they've all got a QR code. And when you're at an open house and people are walking through, you can invite them. Hey, I've got a couple of free guides for both home buyers and home sellers that just give a little bit more information about the home buying and home selling process. I would love to invite you to scan the QR code. You can download the guide. And that way, if you have any questions about it, I'm here to help answer those as well. And I mean, how phenomenal would that be? Somebody scans a QR code here for the guide, and now they're still at your open house, and you're able to talk with them, right? Instead of scheduling a strategy session with you, you can actually talk to them right at the open house. Very, very powerful. So Oliver, oh, awesome. So Oliver says, yes, we do. And I believe, Oliver, that was to the question of do you use BombBomb? So Oliver, I'd love to have you take that script, right? Do a video, and then you can send, everything else can be the same. So you could, if I go back to Follow Up Boss, right? Record this. Maybe what you do is you keep the link. So still keep that link right there, and you can refer to, hey, this is Oliver, and let me go back to the script. So let me bring up that script again. Right. I'll come back to the postcards and the farm here in a minute. Our timing is about perfect. I love it. So for the bomb video, it might be, hey, this is Oliver with I don't know, Oliver, I apologize. But this is Oliver with Eldell Realty. And, just do the script and then say, you'll see a link above this video in this email that you can click to download the guide. And if you'd like to schedule a strategy call with me to review any of the content in the guide, because your specific situation is unique, as is your home. And I want to make sure that when you are ready to sell, that you're going to get top dollar and your home sold as fast as possible with as little stress. Because when you go to sell your home, you do not want to be dealing with a lot of the issues that I find some homeowners get into because they didn't prepare ahead of time. So that could be a great bomb video, and put the video in place of that image right there. I think that'd be phenomenal. All right. Cindy, yes, I'll make sure I do that. Thank you for reminding me. All right. So we touched on the print flyers, postcards, and door hangers. So again, I can download JPEG or PDF and go ahead. I'm just going to let you know the capability. Get with support at your postcard company if you're not sure how to do this. But you can, and what I would recommend, swap out this image with an image of their home. So it's called a dynamic street view. So I know Mailbox Power is called dynamic street view, and it's so easy. So dynamic street view to replace this, dynamic QR code to replace that. And that way, when I get your QR code, I'm seeing my home on the postcard. So it's going to be more compelling. So I'm going to be like, oh, wow, that's my home. Secrets to selling your home fast. That is my home. And now when I scan the QR code, you're also going to know it was me that scanned the QR code. So your follow-up is going to be pretty beautiful. So take a look at that. I mean, we've also got the door hangers. We've got a farm and circle prospecting script. So if you're going to do a mailing, you might as well follow up with a phone call. So great little script right here. Again, more of a did you get script. If you don't send out the postcards, maybe you go to RedX, you pull a list, you skip trace it, and you want to circle prospect around maybe a just sold listing that you sold a couple of weeks ago. And you did the nearby homeowner letter for the open house. You did the nearby homeowner letter for the sold listing. And, you're getting some conversations going, and you don't want to drop the ball and never call that list again. Well, now you can call that list whether you send a postcard or not. So I would say any list you have ever pulled and you got phone numbers for, right, and you scrubbed the DNC or you got permission to call, I would call with this script right here. And then lastly, we got the QR code. If you want to, this would be good for Canva. So if you want to go into Canva, create a beautiful print flyer or postcard, completely custom, you can do that. And you got the QR code right there. A couple of different options, PNG, JPEG, PDF, EPS, and so on. All right, last thing before I will take a few questions if needed. Martin says, when you do a Facebook ad for listing, do you select landing page? I like the single property website. I like landing pages, a number of years ago, but nowadays I just, because a Facebook ad is going to be a lead ad. So you're going to capture name, email, phone number, and purchase time frame in the ad, or selling time frame is a pending or sold listing, right? So coming soon, just listed, active, or open house will be buyers. And so what is your purchase time frame? Pending, sold will be seller leads. So it's going to say, what is your selling time frame? And then for custom audience right here. So on the ads, click ads. There's a blue button called create audience. And I might say, so first of all, I go location, and you can do whatever you want, but this is just, I think, a great, easy naming nomenclature. So area, homeowners, 5+ just add in like maybe my main filter. So 5+ I know it means 5+ years home ownership. Then I can say red X. So I want to know where did that list come from? Or it could have been, my database. It could have been, whatever. So I'm going to say red X. And then I'm going to say May. I mean, it's almost into May, so I might even say June, but it's still, May 21st. So we're still kind of middle of the month. So again, this location, homeowners, 5+ years home ownership. And now I might do some, likely to move. And I could, this is the, red X. They all have the likely to move filter. And then red X, May 25. And then here's the format. So when you download it from RedX or My Plus Leads, ask their support if you need to give you the file, email, phone number, first name, last name. All right, Martin, did I answer your question? And Cindy, did I answer your question as well? Anna, yes, we are recording this. It will be available at our YouTube channel. So it's also on our Facebook group. So if you go to facebook.com/listings to leads, I will post a link to it in the mastermind group also. So if you're in the mastermind group, I will post a link to this call there also. All right. Awesome. I love it. Any questions I can answer about anything else for the next minute or two real quick before I let you go? Can we get a coach to help us be more? Can we get a coach? Well, Carmen, I am your coach. So, I said in last night's call, if you just do what I say every day, I do 1 to 2 calls a day. So if you just go through and do this like this, and again, I talked about, I would make sure I do my listing ad. I wouldn't do an ad for the PDF guide out of the gate. I would focus on the database, focus on the video and all that. No. I'm sorry. I'm not a personal coach. I'm just saying, imagine this as a group coaching idea. Yeah. All right. Awesome. And I'll tell you one more thing here. So Carmen says, I did a Facebook ad. There is a massive difference between doing a Facebook ad and being successful with Facebook. So I'm going to give you, in fact, I think we're covering this tonight. I think our 5 o'clock call is the 10 commandments of Facebook ads. So if you are struggling with Facebook ads, this is the call that you want to watch right here. This is from a client. We walked through with a client on how to do the ads. This is not somebody that had crazy success in the sense of you can't achieve it 90% of the time. This was average success. And by average success, he spent $2,000 over 2.5 months, so about $800 a month. Now that's a little bit high, but the results, 2 closings in the second month, 2 in contract, 4 pre-approved out looking for homes. So that's 8 deals, right? 2 closed, 2 in contract. So they're unless something bizarre happens. And then 4 people pre-approved out looking. In this video, I walk you through, and I'll give you the link here. Let me give that to you so everybody can click it. And let me see, how do I leave a comment? Let me see. Can't post comments to some. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'll tell you what, right now, I'm going to go to the mastermind group and I'll post this right here in the mastermind group. If you're not in the mastermind group, I'll show you how to find it. And then below that second video where I walk you through how to do an ad so you don't make mistakes, the worst thing I want for any of you is that you do an ad and you find out later there was something you did that was probably really simple. That was the difference between an ad performing poorly, think 10 to 15 bucks a buyer lead or 30 to 40 bucks a seller lead, and how to make sure, because our average for buyer leads is $4 a lead, right? Active is $2. Just listed $2.50 to $3 a lead. So, but it's easy to mess it up. People mess it up all the time, and they usually mess it up because either A, they're not paying attention, or B, they're trying to customize and try something, right? In the beginning, the worst thing that you can do is dip your toes in the water, because you'll never get it. Like I said, not spending enough money and not being consistent are the two biggest reasons why you fail. It just is. Another client that I work with, like I said, he is getting listings, he's getting buyers. And in the first month that we were doing it together, he spent $500 in the first month. And to be honest, we were both like, I'm like, dude, this is gonna work. I'm like, dude, just stay with it, right? Don't give up. Don't give up on what we're doing here. And by about halfway through the second month, so by the 6th week or so, he came back and he's like, Scott, he goes, I feel the momentum. And he was happy. I could see the look on his, well, I didn't see him, but I could tell by his voice and his messages back to me that he was now seeing the gold at the end of the rainbow. He was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. He's having so many conversations now. He's flipping buyer leads into seller leads because he's looking up if they own a home or not. And you can do that in listings to leads. But here are the 10 commandments that you also want to make sure that you're doing. All right. And some of you don't want to hear it, right? Some of you feel, well, I should be able to, just spend $35 and that should be enough. Unfortunately, it's not, right? Will a quarter tank of gas get you from San Francisco to LA? No, right? Will me keeping my foot on the gas 1/3 of the time get me from San Francisco to LA? No. So you need gas in the tank. That's budget. You need to keep your foot on the gas. That's consistency. Otherwise, you're not going to get to the destination of getting enough leads coming in to where now, whether it's the past leads from, when you first started till now, because here's the thing, Facebook gets better at putting your ads in front of the right people the longer you go, right? So when I run an ad inconsistently and I run, all sorts of different types of ads all the time inconsistently with too little of a budget, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money, just to be blunt about it. So I'm going to drop this link. It's at our blog, listingstoleads.com/blog. But I'm going to put it in the mastermind group. Then I will show you how to get a hold or get into the mastermind group. So I'm just going to leave struggling right there, post. A little bit later, I'll go back and add some text to that so that you'll have a little bit more context. But so find this in the mastermind group. And if you're not in the mastermind group, click on marketing calendar. I'm already on the marketing calendar. All right, go to the marketing calendar. Click resources. Oh, perfect. Facebook mastermind group here, join group. If you're not a member, you'll have to request membership. And YouTube right there. Click subscribe. I don't know. It shouldn't even say subscribe. It should just say go to. So click that, go to YouTube, and then click the live tab. And that's where you'll find all of these calls. We got commercial people using it. Yeah, definitely. All right. Rocky, you did great, Scott. As a VA, I've been sharing. I love it. All right. Since 2017. Yep. Yeah. Rocky, exactly. Well, Rocky, no, I don't know how much of that you want to share with them, but, it doesn't sound like you need to see it, but you might want to share some of the results that people are getting. And in fact, let me show you something here. If I go to, hopefully it's not too far down. Let me find it. And give me a second. I know it's here. I apologize. And right here. So this open house one is really good. So this is from the guy I was referencing a little bit earlier that I work with. And he was actually our very first broker client in 2009. So this guy has been with us for 16 years. He has dipped his toes in the water. He's been in and out all the time. Inconsistent business, inconsistent results. And I finally said, Gordon, listen, I love you, man. And I've been down with him in Pensacola, Florida, where he's at. And I said, Gordon, listen, you know, you have been a client for so damn long. And I just got to tell you, you know, the thing that is killing your business and the thing that is killing your results is your inconsistency and your lack of trust in the process. All right. If you're not going to trust the process, if you're not going to have the confidence in that this will work, you're not ever going to commit to it and you're not going to get the results. And that's the entire thing. And I tell you, for the first month, it felt like touch and go. So we're doing the ads. He's calling the lead. People aren't calling him back. He's getting a little bit of annoyed with me. I can tell, like, as long as we've known each other, sometimes he wouldn't call me back for a day because, whatever, who knows. And then by about the 6th week, that turned around. I mean, it literally started turning around. He started doing more open houses was part of it, but the ads were the consistency of the ads, the people that the algorithm was putting the ads in front of, people, and more people were seeing the ads. So they were getting more comfortable seeing the ads. And so, when they see your ad, over 2 week, over 3 week, over 4 weeks, 6 week, 8 week, 6 month, 1 year time frame, they just get more and more comfortable with you. And so he went from, right here, check this out. That's from the open house. But geez, excuse me. And this is separate. So this was not the open house. So this was just calling leads back. And how many of you have ever said these 2 comments in a row? Still making calls, enjoying the day. And that was just, I copied and pasted his text message. So there's nothing, I didn't do anything. And this was another one. And this is another one. I just spoke to a $1 to $2 million buyer. And then another one, $2 million buyer and a seller. So it's a buyer and a seller. And look at this. So, come on. How often is it that you call a lead and you say, oh my God, that was such a nice call, right? Had 20 minutes, a 20-minute phone call. And he's not a luxury agent. He's just an agent. All right. Now he's in Pensacola, so they've got all sorts of properties, but he's not targeting luxury. All right. Here's the thing. You don't have to target luxury. That's the thing I always kind of laugh about, people, I got to have a luxury. No, you don't. I worked at Sotheby's when I started this company. When I started this company, I was a director of online marketing for 4 Sotheby's offices. The difference between the average agent and luxury is just who you're talking to. So you don't need to be, now the only thing I will say about luxury is they're going to see through your BS a lot quicker. So if you are not dialed into your business, if you're not dialed in to your communication, typically, but not always, luxury people will put up with less bullshit than your average person because they don't have time for it. So that's the one thing I would say about going after luxury is be dialed into your business and, have your scripts, be prepared, right? People that have money, they don't have time to waste. So they don't want to hear your ums and ahs. They don't want to hear you, giving, blowing smoke up their butt. They just want the information and they want to move on. They want to make decisions. And typically, and I told them a little bit later, I'm like, dude, listen, the beautiful thing about people like this is they're either going to tell you to get lost or they're going to say yes a lot quicker than your average person, because people that have money typically are good at making decisions. All right. And they're good at reading people, which is why I love the video text message, because it's going to allow people to be able to read you quicker. And if you're good, they're going to read good into you. All right. So Rocky, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anything else? I got to go. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Again, get into the mastermind group if you need help with anything. Get with our support team. If it's support related, get with our support team. But if you got something that you want to share in the mastermind group, I would love to have you in there. Again, we'll talk to you later. Last thing, 5:00 tonight, we've got the call on the 10 commandments to Facebook ads. All right, everybody, have an awesome day. And hopefully I'll see you tonight at 5:00. And I'll make sure I post that call for 5:00 in the mastermind group right now as well. All right. Have a good one.